FightFans.com. What's up? It's your man, Pretty Boy Floyd, the one and only.
Hello to FightFans.com.
FightFan.com.
James Lights Out, Tony.
How you doing?
All right, so we're FightFan.com here, and we're with Nonito Donaire, the Filipino Flash, in his suite at the Mandalay Bay. So you're back in action this Saturday. And the opponent is Maruti. Excellent. I was going to say I couldn't say that last name. So tell us how it feels. How are you feeling in training the last little while?
Oh man, I've trained for this fight so hard. You know, I knew. I mean, I haven't fought in nearly a year. So I made sure that you know, I was going to get into training, take all that rust out, and be confident, knowing that I'm 100% going to that ring because I give it all I got for this. You know, for this fight. So, but I feel good overall knowing that this fight is happening now. You know, nothing's getting canceled and all this and all that, and I'm looking forward to it.
And the last fight was December 07 for you. So do you feel at this point that there's been any rust, or do you think you've shaken that off in the training?
Well, I don't think I completely shaken it off. I mean, I can honestly say that you know, the first round might be a lot different from sparring. You know, I've had good sparring. You know, I made sure that I'm running well. I made sure that the weight is good. I made sure that everything is 100%, and you know, that I'm confident going into that ring. You know, even with the layoff. But maybe in the early round, you know, I'm gonna feel a little bit weird because there's no headgear, there's nothing like that, or you know. But either way, I know I'm in shape and I'm going to give it all I got. What's
the pressure like for you at this point after having, you know, tremendous success over the last year, and then with the layoff? Is there any pressure that's built up over the last year?
A lot, actually. You know, I mean, a lot of people are calling in from all kinds of, you know, all kinds of business and all that stuff, and everybody's looking forward to this. The whole country's behind this. My whole family's here, and it's a big thing, you know, and this is my debut with Top Rank. I want to make a good impression, so there's a lot of things on my shoulder, you know, so, but whatever it is, you know, fighting, when you get into that ring, everything's gone.
So we were talking about how you're fortunate that you're eating well and that your strength is good, so you're not having any trouble making the 112-pound limit as you're going close to the fight here?
Well, as you can see, I just ate. Yeah. I don't know if, you know, you didn't get it on camera or anything, but, you know, usually a lot of the guys that are losing weight, you know, knowing that the weigh-in is tomorrow, knowing that, I mean, I should be slurring and you know, but I'm not like that at all. You know, I feel good. I have colors in my face and just everything. Just I feel good. I feel really good.
And do you feel good about fighting at 112 pounds? Is that where you think you'd like to stay? Because obviously there's some big fights at 115.
Oh yeah, no. You know what? For me, I'm a fighter. You know, I let the fighting for me to do. You know, I let the managing for my manager to do, promoters for them to do. So whoever they want me to fight, I'll train my butt up, and then I'll get things, you know, done, and I'll fight whoever it is they want me to face. And
in the past, you fought as heavy as 118. So is there much of a transition for you in that area between 112 and 118?
112, 118 from that area, it's nothing to me, you know. But 118 I would be more comfortable in than the 112 because I have to lose so much weight for it.
Right.
But 118 is just my comfortable zone.
Have you noticed over the last little while that the lower weight classes are starting to get a little bit more recognition, that there's a lot more people talking about the names down there, and how exciting is that?
That's a good thing. I mean, for little guys, we don't usually get all the exposure or all the talks, you know. But we have Darchinian, Arce, Mijares Montiel, me, and other guys out there, and you know, ever since before, you know, they had Carbajal and Chiquita Gonzalez, you know, and now they're more with more guys who are capable, like Arce and Mijares and Montiel and Darchinian and myself, who's willing to put their career on the line, their belts on the line, and who's not afraid. And with that, it's giving people to notice the lower weight class.
So I know you just mentioned that obviously it's your promoter and your team that pick the fights, and I don't want you to look past this fight, but with some of the big names that are potentially down the road, is there ever any worry about overlooking a fight like this that you have coming up, that not looking past the guy?
Well, what I've said before is that the guys that I'm looking forward to fights are the one that keeps me focused on my fight right now, you know, because I want to make sure that I fight those guys in the future. You know, they're the one that builds my path. They build my path, and they're the one that it gives me the determination to train as hard as I do, because I want to fight those guys. Those guys are the one that can put my name out there, those guys are the one that my blood rushes all around when I talk about them. You know, those are the fights that I want to see myself in. So they've helped me focus to fight whoever's in front of me and to win and win and win until I get to one of them.
Now, speaking of a couple of those guys you mentioned, Maharis and Darchinian are obviously fighting this weekend. What are your thoughts on that matchup? Do you like that fight?
That's a very good fight.
Yeah?
I mean, you know, if Miharis stick to his game plan, he'll definitely win by points. But if he lets Darchinian run him over, then, you know, that's going to be a tough night for him.
One thing I wanted to ask you about Maharis is he's starting to get a lot of recognition from publications and stuff as far as pound-for-pound talk goes. Do you think that with the way that you handled Darchinian, you fought very well and you stopped him so emphatically, is there any pressure there on Maharis to sort of put in a similar performance to validate that for himself, do you think? Or?
No, I think Miharis knows that he doesn't have the power as I do, or as the power to knock somebody out with one punch, and he knows that. One thing that he's known for is his intelligence, you know, and with that he'll win, and it doesn't matter if he knocks the opponent out or not. I mean, he knows what to do, and when it comes to just winning, that's what's more important to him than knocking his opponent out. In me, on the other hand, I want to knock my opponent out. If I win, yes, I'm satisfied, but there's nothing more satisfying than a knockout win.
And you've also got the ability to not just knock your opponent out, but you box as really well. You're sort of a boxer-puncher, I guess, right?
Right. Well, actually, I started off with boxing. That's
Yeah.
my real thing. I usually resort to boxing when I'm in a pinch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's when you'll see more of my speed. You'll see more of my true form. But I'm a fighter. I can fight in any way. I can mimic any fighter style, and you know, they gotta get past a fighter style before I turn to another fighter style. But I have a lot of style and different approach to looking at the fight. So I'm very confusing to get with in the ring.
They talked about a Darchinian rematch or potentially an Arce fight, but is Maharis a fight that you would like if he wins that fight? Is that like hypothetically down the road? Is that something that would
nice.
interest
And
you?
you can see from my face that I'm excited with that match.
That's a great matchup.
I'm
I think
faster than him. I think I'm smarter than him.
Yeah.
You know, I think because that's my real thing. You know, people can overlook on what's my real talent, and that's to think, and that's to be smart. You know, but from my way of fighting, they look at me as a powerful puncher, as a fast fighter, but really, I'm just smart. You know, and I think that's my true talent in boxing, is to be able to come up with a game plan to beat my opponent. But with Miharis, he's the same way as I am. You know, it's just that I'm blessed with more power and I think more speed. You know, but overall, that's the fight that's very exciting for me as well. He's a great champion, and that's excitement right there.
I could see it in your eyes for sure. If somehow Vic was to win, does a rematch interest you? Because I remember you said that you think he's maybe in denial, and I've heard him talk about that fight with you like it didn't happen, or I don't know.
He's in denial. I mean, I've taken everything away from him. You know, I've given him his first loss, his first knockout, his first knockdown, his first cut. I mean, brought him to the hospital. So there's a lot of things going into his head, you know. So he wants revenge, but he's two-stepping when it comes to it, you know. But that would be a great fight. I mean, to say it plain and simple, I just want to shut him up.
Right.
Just to finalize that, hey, it wasn't a lucky punch. You're just in denial, and just shut up and sit down.
Right.
You know.
One thing I wanted to ask you about is how has life changed for you in the last couple of years? Has it been different for you with a lot of the recognition you're getting?
Most definitely. I mean, there's a lot of people calling my group about endorsements and all that stuff, and then going to the Philippines, the Filipino people are just supportive, and you know, they hover around, and they're like everywhere, and it's a great feeling knowing that I'm being acknowledged for what I've done, and in return I want to give everything I got for them, and for the whole Philippines to know that, you know, I have the heart of a Filipino, and I will give it all I got, you know, and I'm going to go in there and just make everybody proud and move on from there, and just do my best, really, you know. And I'm just thankful that everybody's there to support me, and their continual support, and that's what keeps me going as well.
That was really good. We appreciate you taking the time, Nonito.
Thank you very much.
And best of luck.
And to everyone out there, I'm going to do everything I can, you know. I still got a lot to prove, I still got a lot to go, but one thing is for sure, I'm here to stay, and I'm going to do everything I can. As a warrior, as a fighter, and as a Filipino man, you know, with lots of pride. and just everybody out there. I just want to thank you guys for everything.